All right, y'all. Speaking of love, last Friday it was announced that the Wendy Williams show was ending after 13 seasons. According to the Jasmine brand, a source close to Wendy claims she has no plans of returning to the screen and would need tremendous support if she did. Now, the source also claims that she can't remember anything. She needs a teleprompter and she needs someone there to remind her of things. She's sitting in her house. She isn't taking meetings. She isn't going out. There is no plan. Al, let's start with you. I know you're the one that talked about her having a podcast there. I've been hearing rumblings of that. What are your thoughts on these claims? Do you believe them?
Well, we heard Neighbor Talk posted it, right? A couple of the blogs have posted the rumors around the podcast idea. Something's not right here. I mean, I think we keep saying this over and over, and we really at this point need to know what's going on. Why haven't her brother or Kevin talked about this memory loss issue or these mental illness issues? The both of them have talked about the family issues. They've talked about the drug use. They've talked about the sobriety house. They've talked about the family drama. But no one is talking about this memory loss. I think the first glimpse that we've got of this memory loss was from the bank. Now, you guys know I used to be a private banker, and the only way that you can get guardianship or conservatorship over a client's account is court ordered. And the best thing about this is the court judge did make a decision last month about her account. And they found that she is the victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. But what does that have to do with her memory loss or her mental illness? I need answers, and we're just not getting them from anybody.
I'd like to think you can't tell me Wendy Williams has the worst memory loss and the worst mental capacity of all these people that have bank accounts with Wells Fargo that we don't hear this happening to. Q, what do you think about this?
So when I went to Florida State University and got my degree in economics, them people ain't teach me nothing about dementia, okay? So I don't know how quickly it sets in. I don't know if Monday you find and then on Friday there's this deep decline. But y'all, we got somebody in-house who spends time with Wendy Williams. I'm not listening to no other blog other than Jason Lee. Jason Lee was just with Wendy Williams a couple of weeks ago. What was it, Fashion Week or whatever was going on in New York? Don't quote me. So I wish we had time for me to get Jason on the line right now and put him on speakerphone. But we need to call Jason Lee because he spends time with her. And whether he would tell us the truth or not, because that's his friend, I don't know. But if it ain't coming from Jason at this point, I'm not buying it.
Well, listen, Q, you got to buy a little bit of this because the courts have appointed her a guardian. They've appointed her a guardian. So they have basically taken over her accounts, and the courts have appointed a guardian to watch over her finances along with her because she doesn't have the capacity to do it herself.
Well, I will say this, if that's the case, then something is wrong. And I only say that because many of you guys know, I shared the story about my brother being schizophrenic, and I had to get his rights taken away and become his legal guardian. And in order to do that, he had to get 3 separate evaluations from 3 independent psychologists. So I would imagine that a psychologist or psychiatrist. So I would imagine that process would be similar, that you would have to have multiple diagnoses from multiple professionals before that would happen. So maybe something is going on.
It does feel that she's a little targeted. My mother, real quick, she takes care of this elderly woman who was a victim of elderly abuse. She has dementia, but they never, she had hundreds of thousands of dollars in her account that was siphoned off by a bank employee, and no one ever stepped in. If it was my mom, she would have lost everything. So I just don't see Wendy on that same level as, like this woman, and they didn't take hers away is what I'm just saying. But yeah, Jason didn't allude to her having any issues like that. I think she does have issues, but I don't know if they're like that to be taking all her financials. She said she had no money. And she was just on television within this past year, right? It hasn't been that long, right? She was on television in the past year.
I think she meant she didn't have access to
She didn't have access.
She didn't have access. She didn't have access because I told you the bank had disallowed it.
I know. I'm saying she has no access, which is like
someone had asked her how was she. I think Fat Joe had asked her how was she, paying bills or getting a pizza or whatever, and she was just saying, her people. You know what I'm saying? She called up her homegirl, and the homegirl, cash app her $20 to get a pizza or whatever the case may be.
How sad that within the past year she was on the hottest nationally syndicated talk show, the hottest show out there. And within a year, she's in this position. I worry for her mental state, like what that effect has to be, like what the effects of that has to be in her depression and just feeling like just so targeted.
Yeah. Is Karma a girl or a boy?
Karma?
Or Karma. Yeah, is Karma a dude or a chick?
It's non-binary.
Is it a they? It's non-binary.
Gender neutral, non-binary, pansexual, transracial. Them. It has no pronouns.